Thoughts of the Round Table. And welcome to the first, oh my god, this is not the first. Welcome to the second episode of the first season of Thoughts of the Round Table with your co-hosts, Matt and Paul.
How many episodes are going to be in a season? Have we decided?
You know, honestly, it could be 6, it could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 30. I mean, we're just going to...
Wherever the wind blows us.
We're just going to get to a point probably where, like, you go on vacation for a week or two, and then, like, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I want to do is this... I don't know. I've always wanted to do this somewhere. Not the news.
Ooh.
Basically news stories, but just the weirdest news stories. Basically news, but not news, because news can kind of be depressing sometimes. So I was looking around for, some of the stuff I could do for this, and the first one I come across is the caller asks Eloy police if the dinosaurs in the park are real. Now, if you don't know what this is, they have a city park, basically.
Yeah.
I've never heard where Eloy even is. It's in California, I guess. And so they have just a couple dinosaurs randomly in their park. I don't know why, really. But they're about, looks like they're about 8 feet tall. Not like huge, but rather big. So this person was, really kind of drunk and thought that they were real and decided to call the police because they thought dinosaurs were actually invading the park.
I mean,
have you ever had a situation like that where you're just so like gone that they were just... Did something like this happen?
Yeah, there's a few kind of levels here that I kind of want to explore. A, why did this town decide to build these dinosaur replicas? Like, you're not the Natural History Museum. You're a small town with like a small park, and like that's like what you wanted to build. Like, you could have built like a tennis court or like a small pool, and you built dinosaurs. Like, I really want to know why. But then second of all,
I mean, cities do a lot of weird stuff. We all know that.
True, but like that's just weird. But second of all, I'm a firm believer of getting drunk. I'm on my second drink right now today. But, like, you got that drunk where you think dinosaurs are real? Like, you gotta be, like,
the best part about this is there's later in the article, apparently they're talking to the 911 operator, and they said, yeah, this happens more than you think. So there must not either be a lot to do out there, or they do look realistic. I'll give them that. They look pretty realistic. And, if I had a couple thrown back, I might think they're real too. I might not necessarily call the police about it, because honestly, if there are real dinosaurs, I don't know what the police would do about it.
They'd have to send in the tanks.
Yeah, right. But... whatever.
I guess you kind of have to give him to it like he was a good citizen where he wanted to call the police just in case it was real. So you know what?
Citizens arrest the thing.
Mr. Velociraptor, you are under arrest.
All right, so another one. This is great. There's been a lot of new sports recently in the world and, becoming popular. One of the biggest becoming popular in Brooklyn is axe throwing.
Okay.
Now stick with me. Now, there's a couple places, and I don't even know how to follow the logic on this one. It's becoming a sport where you can throw an axe and drink a couple beers.
Okay.
So, if you want to, you can pick up axe throwing while also drinking beers with your buds, which will only lead to positive outcomes. I guarantee you.
It's kind of like dart throwing. How do we make the sport of dart throwing, which isn't really a sport, by the way, how do we make the sport of dart throwing more dangerous? We give drunk people axes.
No, axe throwing is cool. I'll give you that, but probably not the best to mix with.
Also, like, I've seen some people bowl where, like, they can't bowl properly. So how am I supposed to trust someone to throw an axe properly?
Oh, when they just, like, throw it against the ceiling?
They're like, whoa! Like, it's flying across the room. Like,
I don't know. So, finally, this is great.
Okay.
Last one. Sports fans eat out of mayo jars is the title.
Oh.
And apparently, every once in a while, I don't know why people do this. They go to, like, to high-profile, sports events or whatever, and do the weirdest things. You remember when Chris Christie was seen eating all those M&Ms? And
he was
those
what?
Really tight pants. You don't remember this?
I don't.
It was when the election was going on, and someone took, I feel bad for the guy for Chris Christie, because he's sitting in the seat in a not very, He's a big dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's a big dude. And he's sitting in. He had very tight pants on, and he's sitting in not a very flattering position. There's kind of looked like a little bit of a bakery going on,
just like spilling over the seat.
And so, but he was also just pounding some M&Ms. And
now,
so
like
took a picture.
Was it like a movie theater bag of M&Ms, or was this like one of those like 2 pound?
It was a normal size.
Oh, okay.
But it still looked really bad. And so this is basically what happened. And 2 women were spotted eating out of a mayo jar at a basketball game. Why? No one knows. And so they eventually asked them what the heck they had in the mayo jars, and it was vanilla pudding.
This story kind of like it kind of gets you on the edge of your seat because you're like, why are they eating mayo?
Here's the video if you want to see it.
Oh my God, there's a video.
Because of course it was on Twitter right here. Yes.
Oh my gosh! They're so proud of it too. They're just like holding the jar.
And they're like holding it like, oh, look at this. They're holding it like label out. And then she just like went like this and like held up to the camera, holding it label out.
Jesus Christ!
So yeah, that's your day in weird news.
Oh my gosh!
That's all I got for you.
Makes me feel normal.
I just wanted to make you, tell you some dumb stories to start things out.
It's kind of like when I don't have like good self-esteem, so I like go to CC's Pizza or something.
I've only been to a CC's Pizza once, and I left so depressed that I just could never go back.
Oh, see, it actually strengthens me.
It gives you life.
It makes me feel great. I'm like, you know what? You're allowed to have that pizza once in a while, Matt. Because you even it out.
Now, do you like build your own, or do you like, what do you do?
Well, they have that mac and cheese pizza, which like it's clearly a heart attack on a pizza, but like it's so good.
Whoever invented mac and cheese pizza is like the greatest person in the world. Seriously,
I feel like there are some people who like literally are rolling in their graves laughing, like the inventor of lard, or like the inventor of corn syrup. Lard?
You mean the inventor of fat, aka the creator of the universe?
They're like, ha ha ha! Like I have tricked them.
Honestly. Have you ever had cookies made with lard?
No.
They are the greatest cookies you ever have in your life.
Yeah, because it's lard. It's like...
Well, that's how they're supposed to be made.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously.
Supposed to be made.
So you eat one, and you feel like your life is slowing down, but...
Yeah, because your heart's probably slowing down.
Oh, you only got seconds to live after that.
It's like tick-tock, tick-tock, baby.
Okay, Kesha. But it's like the greatest seconds ever of your life.
Oh my gosh. Well, in this segment, it's called Secret Shanty or Daring Devil. Cue intro music. Secret Shanty or Daring Devil. And in Secret Shanty or Daring Devil, it's basically truth or dare. So, Paul, truth or dare?
Well, I don't feel like doing a dare right now, so I'll go with truth. Why not?
Oh my gosh, you took like the same reasoning I was going to have. Okay, what's a good question for Paul? What is, like, between like high school, college, grade school, what was like your lowest grade?
What do you mean lowest grade?
Like your lowest, like at the end of the semester, end of the quarter, they give grades out.
Oh, I thought you meant like lowest point. Like I was the saddest. Like I thought we were gonna have like a therapy session. Like
I just put on my therapy glasses.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
You're like, wow, I thought this was a podcast with Matt. Like
the lowest grade I ever got in a class, basically.
Yeah, like at the end of the year.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was kind of a nerd. I think it might have been a C.
Oh wow, okay. And what was that C in?
Geometry, I believe.
Okay.
It was math, but I don't know if this counts. So, and this leads to a funny story. So I went to the University of Akron. Go Zips. Mm-hmm. And so I went for communications. And so one of the classes that I could have taken was news writing. How to write with AP style and things like that. Literally the hardest class ever. The only class I ever dropped in my life after 2 days of this class.
Wow.
2 days. So I happened to have this professor for another class, and she was walking by handing out an assignment, looks at me square in the eyes in front of everyone, goes, "Wimp," and like walks away because I dropped the class. Funny story. Years later...
She got fired.
No. She was great. She was great. She's a great person. But years later, so I graduated from the University of Akron. I decide... And that was the only journalism class I ever took. Yeah. The only journalism class ever. And so years later, I go for my master's degree. And so I get my master's degree in communications. Ironically enough, incorporates journalism. So theoretically, I have a master's degree in journalism after only ever have taken one journalism class and dropping it.
Wow. That's like kind of like you're getting away with like a crime there almost.
Yeah, I feel kind of dirty about it. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, Paul, I will take the truth option too, mainly because I am an open book. So
you're open book. Okay. Let's see. Now, this was asked of one of my friends earlier today because he kind of did the same thing. So I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on the Second Amendment?
Oh my gosh, this is where we lose. We lose our followers, or we gain some. I think that, it comes down to context. I think a lot of things that come down to context, like what was going through the minds of those who put the Second Amendment in place. That's kind of how I think about all law and how I think about all...
This is going to be boring. I'm going to ask you something else.
Okay, shoot.
Let's... plus, I can't debate with you on that because you can't debate in Truth or Dare. So, I will say... What is the meanest thing you ever did to anybody on a dating app?
Honestly, that's hard to I'm a very nice person. Like, it takes a lot for me to like snap on someone. I remember, oh my gosh, what's the meanest thing I ever did?
Is there one thing? Just in general. What is the hold on. Let me rephrase this.
Yeah.
What is the meanest thing you've ever done to a person in general?
Oh my God. This is, I don't know why I picture this, but this is a really sad story. So when I was like maybe in like 8th grade, I remember being in 8th grade and I was doing like a science camp, which is like weird because I'm so unscientific.
A science camp?
Yeah, I know. And I remember...
Is this like kind of like church camp?
Conversion therapy.
Well then.
No, this was like at Tri-C. They had like...
Obviously it didn't work.
It never does, by the way. No, so this was... It was like an 8th grade science camp at Tri-C or something. And I remember I had a friend. She was like this like girl. And long story short, like she like, I guess we got into a fight. And I was like, well, I don't know if like I want to be friends, but I remember saying, if you buy me a candy bar from the vending machine, we can be friends again.
You had her buy you a candy bar?
Yeah, like how shitty is that?
Did they do it?
I don't know. I just remember...
How do you not know if they did or not?
My memory is so terrible. I just remember asking her, like, I was like, if you want to be friends, you have to buy me candy. And I'm like, what kind of fat fuck am I to just like demand candy from someone for friendship?
Were you serious or were you kind of joking?
No, like I was serious at the time because I think I just wanted candy. So I was like... That's like the...
I wish we should contact her and be like... So,
like a Craigslist, like men seeking women.
What is it? What is it?
Missed opportunity.
Did you buy me that candy bar?
I don't think she did. I think it was like towards the end of camp.
I would buy you a candy bar.
Yeah, it was so stupid, but I remember that was a pretty bad thing to do. I don't know, that's the first thing that came up to my mind. So,
all right. Here?
What?
You want to do another round here?
Yeah, sure. Truth.
I'm ready.
You want some more truth? Again. So, some more secret shanties.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul. Let's see.
Let's do it.
Have you ever shit your pants?
Have you ever what?
Have you ever like crapped your pants?
Well, I thought you said stripped your pants. I'm like, let me think. I know I've at least come close, very close. I'm trying to think of... I mean, when you're sick, does that count?
Like, it kind of half counts.
I definitely had that buckshot sick. I don't think I've ever, like, put a log in my pocket.
Yeah.
But I have definitely...
Like prairie dogged it?
Yeah, it's come close.
Yeah.
It's come real close. I've almost crapped myself at work before.
Oh, my God.
But other than that, I think I've managed to dodge that bullet.
Right? Like, I've been very lucky, too. But
now that I say that, yeah, it's all over.
It's going to happen. I just hear horror stories of people who are like, I was running the bathroom and it just... And I'm like, oh, my gosh.
Well, because
like,
your body knows it's coming.
Yeah.
And, like, once your brain knows that, like, you're going to have the bomb doors open, it's like, it's ready to go.
I have really good, like, sphincter shutter release. Like, I'm just like...
It's like when I drive to work and it's snowing out, like the bunt clenches. Like,
yes.
You don't poop for like a week.
It's like an emergency exit. Like, it's right. Like, nope.
Okay. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming you're going to take truth.
Yo, Secret Shanty.
Okay. What is the worst lie you ever told your family?
Oh, that's a good one. See, like the thing is, in general, I'm a terrible liar. Like, I'm literally like one, like, like those sitcoms where like someone's lying and like they're like, well, maybe I'm like the same way. So I think the worst lie I ever told. Oh, this was funny. So I love my parents, but the one thing I don't like talk to them is like dates and like all that, because I go on so many dates like that. It's like my parents couldn't keep up with the cast listing.
It's not even like you're hiding from it. It's just no point.
Yeah, like I don't like it's different like when you're like with close friends and you're getting drinks on Thursday and you're like, LOL, like I'm seeing Marcus tomorrow. Like, but like with my parents,
Marcus.
Yeah, my parents would just be like, oh, like who? And it's like Marcus could be gone like this time next week. Like, you know what I mean?
So it's not even like you're hiding from. It's just no point.
It's not worth it. If there was someone who like, okay, it's like 10 dates in, like maybe mention it, but like first I have to get there. So anyway, my mom was like, you know, my mom and I have a very open communication where we like share our schedules. She's like, oh, what are you doing, you know, in the next few days? I'm like, I'm working, I'm doing this. And she'll be like, oh, I'm doing this. So she asked me like, oh, what are you doing tomorrow? And I had a date, like a lunch date. It was a terrible date. That's for another podcast, and I was like, oh.
Or you left him at the corner?
No, this was different. This was oh God, it's such a bad date. But For next time. So I said, oh, I'm meeting a friend for lunch, which like, you know, like isn't like a lie per se. But she goes, oh, what friend? And I literally paused for like 3 seconds. Like it was like, I'm trying to think of a friend. And like the first person I thought of was someone who had recently like, we would tweet at each other. It's like, oh, Jane. And she goes, oh, like from where? And I go, from college. And like I don't know if my mom could tell that I was like lying, because like I knew I was lying.
Well, it's a mom. She can tell you're lying.
I was just like, I was like, Jane, from college.
Could you have thought of a more generic, like, I'm going out with Jane Doe?
I'm going out with a dead body.
User profile random girl 4491.
I'm going out with random college friend.
That's their Twitter handle, _random college friend.
But I like, it wasn't like a big lie or anything, but I just was like, I don't want to be
why didn't you just tell her?
Because then she's gonna go, oh, who's the date, or like, what's the date about?
And will they bug you later then? Is that what it is?
I just don't want to. Why deal with like telling like your parents?
Isn't that worse what you did though then?
I don't think it's that bad.
I mean, not saying it's bad, but it's might lead to have more explanation down the road of like, well,
yeah, like if that did worked out, I would have been like, so remember that time I was supposed to see Jane from college?
Jane from college. Your mom would have been like, no, really?
We're like, oh.
Okay.
So this next segment is called Advice from the Throne Room of Love, where we have friends, or, you know, we get some stories from our lives and kind of rework them to talk about them. So Nikki has been dating Josh for 6 months, but is unsure if she sees longevity in the relationship. Should she continue seeing Josh, especially because she knows Josh likes her?
Now, this is kind of in your realm of...
I studied love and sex in college. What can I say?
I had a professor in college that did nothing but... sex studies, sex research.
It's so fun.
Literally some of the most interesting research.
Oh my God.
It was unreal.
This is tough. You know, what makes it difficult is that Josh clearly seems to be in love with her. So it kind of adds like that dimension of like, you know, like there's pressure. If it was kind of just like a casual relationship, it'd be like, just keep going. Like, why, you know, don't stop it unless you find a reason to. But like, if she's kind of like question mark and he clearly is like into it, it's tough. It makes it more, because like you could say, okay, well maybe she should put the brakes on it because, you know, he's into it. Right. But the other time it's like, well, like there's not a reason for her to put the brakes on. It's just like she's just not really unsure.
See, this is why I'm so glad I'm not navigating this crazy. It's crazy because I couldn't handle this when I was, you know, dating. Obviously, before I was married. This is the thing I was terrible with. I could not do stuff like this, and I could not like. The thing I absolutely hated the most is trying to figure out what people think. And, you know, so I just gave up.
I think in this case, if I were Nikki, I almost said if I was Nikki, which would be like grammar faux pas, but I think I would probably honestly either have a conversation with Josh and say, hey, you know, I like you. I like this, but I'm not sure.
Introduce him to Jane.
Hey, I got Jane, college friend. I like this, but I'm just not sure where I want to go. I think she needs to be open about that, or otherwise break it up, because he's going to get more invested. And from my experience, when I'm not sure of something, I usually just either kind of continue being unsure, which is never a good thing. You know, like one of my biggest regrets was I was unsure about like if I wanted to date this friend for 2 years. And it's not like I led them on for 2 years. It was just kind of like one of those, it was an on and off kind of thing. But it still kind of sucked at the end when it's like, when you finally realize, you're like, the reason I'm unsure is because I'm trying to take a friendship to a level where it's just not going to go. And that's what makes you unsure, is because you like that friendship or you like that companionship. So I think Nikki has two options. I think she needs to either break it off because she doesn't know what she wants from it, and I think it's going to hurt both of them more in the long run if this continues. Or she has she opens up about this issue to Josh and says, you know, hey, like, I'm not sure how I feel. I don't want you to get too invested because right now I'm like very unsure. Those are the two options I think she has.
So if you were in their shoes, though, what would it be?
For me, I
mean, because there needs to be some sort of solution in the end.
Well, I gave her two, so bitch has options. But no, I think when it comes down to it, like I said before, you know, when I've been unsure, it usually means that it's a no. It's not going to work out, because there's only so long you could be unsure before it's kind of like your way of like giving like a handicap to the fact that it's a no.
Right.
You're kind of like saying like, well, like, but they're nice, like, you know, and it's nothing bad's happened, but clearly nothing is keeping you there where you're like, this is where I want to be right now in life. She's unsure. Like, that's at the end of the day. So if I was in her shoes, what I'd be doing, I'd probably be ending the relationship. It's at 6 months, so it's still kind of like new, but it's not like, it's 6 months. Like, you kind of, by 6 months you should be like feeling like, okay, I can see another year, I can see another 2. She doesn't see the longevity yet. So
longevity is key too. I mean, I don't see the point in anything if you don't have that, at least.
Exactly.
All right. What do you want to move on to?
You want to do some Campfire Secrets?
Let's do some Campfire Secrets.
Okay. I deleted some of this by accident. Well, anyway, my biggest, this is a really embarrassing one, so I'm very sorry that some people are going to hate me for this, but so Prince has a song called I Would Die For You, where he sings I would die for you. For the longest time, I thought it was Apple Dapple Do. Like, it was just like a fun like hook.
Almost like Scooby Dooby Doo.
Yeah, like Apple Dapple. Like, you know, like Michael Jackson, like Mama Say, Mama Sa, Mama Kusa, or like when like Lady Gaga's like rah 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 rah. Like, I really thought it was one of those cases. I literally took me until I think like a couple, maybe like a year or two ago is when I learned the truth.
That what the actual lyrics were?
Yeah.
Are you embarrassed by it?
Very embarrassed.
Why are you embarrassed by it?
Because the song's called I Would Die For You.
Oh, like, so that's the lyrics you literally messed up.
I literally messed up the name of the song. I was like, Apple, Dapple, Do.
Now, did you ever do this at karaoke?
No. My karaoke song is Hotel California, which is ironically...
Hotel California.
Yeah, it's not really a karaoke song, but I make it a karaoke song.
So they even have that in a Rolodex when you go to like,
yeah,
come on, boys, play along with me.
It's like, right, like this is not a song that people really sing along to, but I will sing along to it.
There's like people in the background just like doing like that, like guitar parts.
Like, oh my god, they're like a 7-minute song, really? Like, thanks. Another Campfire secret I'll share today. When I was younger, and probably until I was maybe like a teenager, I thought when an item said gluten-free, I thought it meant glutton-free. Like, your body would only eat so much, like it was free, like you wouldn't be gluttonous with the item.
I kind of get that though.
Like,
now that I think about it, like I decided to pause. I'm like, you know what? I can actually see that.
Like, I was younger, so like both of these are kind of like, you know, like teenage problems, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, clearly gluten and glutton are spelled different, but like, I guess I just like.
Are they though?
Yeah. Like,
okay.
I think there's 2 T's in like what would be like glutton, but you know, but like, I don't know. It kind of doesn't make sense in the sense of like, okay, what would stop you from eating? Like, you'd be like, oh, this bread's gluten free. It's like I can only eat like a slice.
Bread is gluten free. You know what's not gluten free? Trader Joe's. Now here's my.
I love Trader Joe's.
Okay, now I don't know why I'm embarrassed by this, but I legitimately am. And it just feels weird to even say this. The very first concert I ever went to, just take a guess. I want you to guess. What do you think is the first concert I ever went to?
I feel like it's someone with like 1 hit.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
Could say that. Yes, 1 or 2. Yeah. You're never going to get it, but I want you to guess anyway.
Gosh, I know. This is like, these kind of questions really annoy me. Oh my God. Is it going to be... It's gonna be someone who like I'm gonna be like, oh, of course you'd see them as your first, but I'm gonna still like not get it. I'm gonna say like Aaron Carter.
No, it's not Aaron Carter. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, it was a British power metal band.
Stop.
Dragon Force. My very first concert ever. Have you ever even heard of them?
No. I would never have gotten
Guitar Hero. Remember they had that crazy song Guitar Hero?
No, what's the song?
We can play the music right now.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna edit that in.
Oh. I don't know them. You know what my first concert was?
What?
When I was 5 years old, I won a spaghetti eating contest, and my mom and we got tickets to go see.
Can we go back to that in a second? Because I couldn't finish something. Go ahead.
Yeah, Destiny's Child, Christina Aguilera had a joint tour.
Was that a terrible show? I feel like that would be a terrible show.
I don't remember it. That's like what's so upsetting. Like the pop culture like enthusiast in me, like kills myself that I don't remember that.
I feel like that would be a terrible show. But I got to tell you about this Dragon Force show.
Yeah, tell me about the Dragon Force.
Why it ruined me. First of all, it's embarrassing enough to go to a power metal show for your first show. And not going to lie to you, I've seen them several times. But anyways, so the very first show I ever go to, I think I'm like 16, 15 at the time or something like that. And so there was a lot of obviously like mosh pits in the show, which I thought, since this is my first concert, I thought that's just how concerts were. And so there's a big, huge circle pit. And I'm like on the edge of it because I'm like 16, 15. I don't want to fight. I'm like, young. And there's this. So I found out, I learned early on, if you're ever in a mosh pit like that, find the biggest dude you can who's not moshing and stand next to him, like a sequoia. So I can find a guy who's like an oak tree and just stand there. And so I did that. And so it was this big dude. He had to have been like 40s, and he had like literally like the emo jet black hair, like the long hair.
Oh no, he's a greaser.
But this dude was huge, and so someone kept bumping into him from the pit. This tinier guy, like, trying to get him in there, and this guy was getting aggravated, and so eventually, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. He gets mad and like he grabs the kid by the shoulders, and everyone just clears out. Like I've never seen the song's going on. The whole concert's just going on, and everyone just clears the circle out. And he grabs this kid by the shoulder and just starts spinning it.
Like crack the whip.
He eventually got this kid literally parallel to the ground and just let go. And the kid flew like 20 feet and just like he flew into the crowd and just vanished. I never saw the kid again. Legend has it he's still flying through the air.
He's just like still going.
But like that was my first concert I ever went to, so I thought everything was like that.
Oh my god.
And it would change. And then like years later I went to like ska concerts, and I was in a ska band.
Yeah.
And so that was my life went to.
I haven't been to any of those kind of concerts. I usually go to like concerts where no one's being tossed like that. So
yeah, I gotta tell you how I think I might have saved a life at a Tenacious D concert.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I probably didn't do anything important. But I was at a Tenacious D concert, which is crazy in and of itself. Mm-hmm. And so it was pretty crowded, and there was this girl in front of me who was like, she's probably mid-20s, younger.
Okay.
And she was drinking and was like swaying back and forth, I didn't realize that she was swaying back and forth because she was passing out. So I'm standing there directly behind her, and she just literally like crumples into like my arms. I'm like holding this unconscious woman, and everyone's just looking at me like, what do we do now? And so then I like waved, like someone waved, and like security came over, and they like picked her up and ran away. Never saw her again.
Oh my gosh! Thank God you're a good person. Can you imagine like what a cretin would have done?
Oh, I know, right? Because everyone around me just looked. Was like, well, what is this? Yeah. And so we all just started like waving, and like 3 guys in like yellow security jackets came up, picked her up, and ran away. And we never saw her again.
Jeez. The worst thing that happened in that realm, I was at Hall & Oates last summer. Amazing concert. What?
I hope she's okay. She probably is.
She's looking at this podcast like, oh, he was the one.
To be honest, probably just dehydrated. But.
So behind me, this lady was like hunched over, like from the jump. Like she had come in drunk, and her husband or boyfriend was like rubbing her back. Like I hate when people like rub people's backs. Like that's like the solution. Like oh, like you're gonna throw up, you're sick. I'm just gonna rub your back. Just like not get you.
Just in general, like general PDA when people rub each other's backs.
Oh, that too. I mean, I don't know. It's creepy. Anyway,
to be honest, what else are you supposed to do when someone's about to puke?
Like take them home.
What if you know you're not going to make it home? Like the danger's coming.
Bathroom.
You're in the dry
family bathroom. Step outside the Q Arena.
Okay, then you do pat them on the back, or you just throw them in the toilet.
Just like
go ahead.
Get it out and like, can we go see the concert?
You burp them like a baby.
Anyway, so she's like literally she's like hunched over, but she's like touching my seat. Like her head's like on my seat.
The back of your seat.
Yeah. Long story short, she throws up on my chair.
On you though?
No, I was standing, thankfully.
Yeah.
But it's still on my chair, and like everyone around us was like, "What the frick just happened? The best part was her boyfriend tried to give me like a handshake. Like, I'm sorry. Like, first of all, I don't know where that head's been. Second of all, no. Like, your freaking girlfriend just threw up on my seat. Like, don't act like it was like an accident.
Well, again, what else is he supposed to do?
Like, take her out of there. Clearly, she's like freaking gone. She was gone, dude. She was gone.
Well,
anyway.
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. But like,
I know, and I'm like, there's no point. Do we have time to stumble upon a website, Paul?
I was literally just about to say this.
I think we have time.
Because this is one of my favorite things to do ever. Just go to Stumble Upon and see what I find.
Okay.
Okay, now the first one is just a picture of a mountain. Literally just a picture of a mountain.
Oh, that's kind of pretty, though.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like a rainbow mountain, I guess you could say. It's like Rainbow Road from Mario. Mm-hmm. Remember that? Yeah, scoot over here so you can see this.
Just going to turn your laptop a little bit.
All right.
I like that. That's pretty.
Yeah, it's not bad. So I'm going to thumbs up this one. We'll move on to the next one. Okay. By the way, you find some really cool games doing this. Oh, okay. Loading.
And the suspense. It's very suspenseful.
I know. Okay, why is it... Okay. It just sent me back to the one time, I kid you not, I stumbled upon's website. I kid you
like
not.
The Matrix.
The most meta thing I've ever seen in my life. Nature Knows about amazing macro photography of individual snowflakes.
Oh, I love when they do the photos
These
of like
things
snowflakes.
look fake. There's no way. Is that what snowflakes actually look like?
Yeah, no, they actually do look like, you know, like when you cut them out in art class when you were younger.
Yeah.
They look like that. The thing is, like, they're just so small. Oh, that one.
That
looks
one's
wicked.
lame. This one's just a triangle. It's literally just a triangle.
That's so cool.
That one's lame too. There's no way these are real. There's no way these are snowflakes.
Yeah, I don't know exactly why it takes on the shape, but it just does. They say that each shape is unique. Each shape is different.
Look at that.
I love it.
I don't know. Well, I'm going to thumbs up this one. We'll agree to this one. Then we'll move on. See what's next.
Let's do some stumbling.
Stumbling.
Maybe that's why my personal blog's been getting so much traction.
People are stumble upon
People are just stumbling, man.
That's what happens when we became a world-renowned musical artist.
Shook.
All right, next one. Animals etched into dirty cars by illustrator Nikita Gulubev.
Oh, wow.
This is just really dirty box trucks in the sky, just like these
use
art
the dust
designs,
and
yeah, to like put. This was an alligator on the side of a box. Would you ever wash your car again? By the way, what would you do if you came out and someone was just like making an art on your car out of its dirt?
I'd probably start off and be like, sir, like, what are you doing? And then I'd be like, oh, wait,
and then
you're doing awesome things to my car.
Right, never mind, I'm good. Oh, look at this. There's an owl on the back of a truck. How long do you think that takes?
I mean, this is like good quality drawings with the dirt on the car. So, like, I don't know. He has to be out there for like a good hour or two.
Why am I going to so many weird pictures of cities?
Oh, this is Quebec City. Dude, I was in Toronto last year, and I loved it.
Look at the title of this. Where to stay, ski, and eat poutine in Canada. Can I tell you, poutine is one of the greatest foods.
See, I'm a vegetarian, so I can't, like, I look at it and I'm like, I would love to try that if I could.
Poutine as a vegetarian, can you?
Well, it's gravy on there, isn't it?
So what? You can't eat gravy as a vegetarian?
Well, it's made out of meat.
When gravy is made out of meat? No, it's not. Are you being serious right now?
Wait, what?
Gravy is made out of meat?
Yeah.
How did I not? How is it made out of meat?
I mean, it's just like how it is.
Oh, I did not know that. I learn something new every day. Look at that. All right, you want to go to one more site? Let's go to one more.
One more. Bring it home.
All right. Because I want to figure out how to buy some poutine. Okay, so I see this. 68 actors with people they portrayed in the biopic film.
Honestly, that's probably
the first one's Abraham Lincoln. Oh, I thought it was like going to be actually like meeting the person.
Well, it's Daniel Day who played Abraham.
Yeah, but I thought it was like them meeting, like the person they played, and the first one's Abraham Lincoln. I was like, wait, hold up, something's not adding up. Alfred Hitchcock. Man, look how some of these people are spot on. I'll give it to Hollywood. Sometimes they really, really nail. Like, I mean, look at these. These are literally the same people. Look at this. Even Lindsay Lohan. By the way, did you see Lindsay Lohan is now the
face of lawyer.com? I love it. I love it.
How would you like to be this next one? Someone approaches and says, Matt, I want you to play Gandhi.
Well, first of all, I'm white, so I think that would be a problem. I don't think anyone would want to see that.
But I'm just saying, like, Gandhi. Like, how are you supposed to play Gandhi?
I don't know.
Okay, now I gotta say this. Ashton Kutcher as Steve Jobs literally is the most uncanny thing I have ever seen in my life. Like that is Steve Jobs when he's younger. He literally is Ashton Kutcher.
I just wonder, are these people who look like them, or do they do like these weird makeup tricks that get people to look like them?
I mean, Steve Jobs legitimately does look like Ashton Kutcher, so I'll give him that. But if you could portray anybody, who would it be? You don't have to look like them. You just want to portray them in like a biopic.
I think I would look like a little bit like Chris Pratt.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying what you look like. I'm saying who you want to, who you would love to cover.
Oh man, who would play me in a biopic?
No, not who would play. Who would you play?
Oh, Chris Pratt.
You want to be Chris Pratt?
Well, I look like Chris Pratt.
But do you want? That's who you want to be.
I mean, I feel like it's like to an extent, like I may want to play like Stephen Hawking, but I don't like look like Stephen Hawking.
I want to pull a designated survivor and be a Kiefer Sutherland and be a president. I want to be a president.
Which president? Like John Adams?
I don't care what one.
John Adams' son?
I just want to be a president. I just
FDR?
want to be a president. Do you think I'd be a good president?
Honestly, you wouldn't be. You'd be better than the current administration, probably.
I wouldn't be a terrible president. I can say that.
I think you'd be like when it comes to you wouldn't be like a Mount Rushmore president, but you'd be someone who they'd be like President Paul Locks, and everyone would be like, oh, we liked him.
he was okay.
Like he
did all right.
He was okay. Like we could have had someone,
I could afford groceries. All right, I'm done.
I like that. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up for episode 2. Hopefully, you can play the game that we played on air today. What was that game called again?
I don't know.
Colors. And
find it on StumbleUpon. You'll come across it.
StumbleUpon. Anyway, until next time, peace out. Bye.
Later.